In the shadowy heights of the Himalayas, where the air is thin and the landscape is stark, a snow leopard prowls through the rugged terrain. Its fur, a thick coat of silvery gray and white rosettes, is a marvel of evolution designed to blend seamlessly with the rocky backdrop. But beneath this stunning exterior lies a shocking truth. This majestic creature bears a horrific wound, a grotesque parasitic flower that has taken root in its flesh. The flower, a sinister invader, has burrowed deep into the snow leopard's side, its tendrils entwined with muscle and sinew, feeding on the very life force of this magnificent animal. The sight is enough to make even the most hardened wildlife enthusiast recoil in horror. This is not simply a wound. It is a battleground between life and death, a vivid reminder of nature's cruel and unyielding law of survival. As we delve deeper into this dark tale, we uncover another layer of this. In the shadowy depths of the jungle, where sunlight scarcely touches the forest floor, a jaguar prowls, not majestic and untouchable as legends often tell, but scarred and ravaged by a relentless enemy invisible to most eyes. This magnificent predator, emblem of strength and stealth, bears upon its sleek coat a grotesque testament to the brutal realities of survival, a horrid wound festering with parasites. Their invasion a surgical nightmare played out beneath the surface of flesh. The sight is disturbing, a craterous opening, swollen and angry, teeming with writhing larvae and tiny blood-sucking creatures clinging desperately to the jaguar's suffering skin. It's a visceral reminder that even the most formidable creatures in nature are prey to microscopic horrors. This particular jaguar's wound is a gruesome host site of parasitic infestation, a dark ballet of biological warfare. Parasites, in their simplest form, are organisms that survive at the expense of their hosts, drilling into tissues, feasting on blood, cells, and bodily fluids, often with devastating consequences. In the dense, humid air of the South American rainforest, conditions are ripe for such organisms to thrive, moisture and warmth creating incubators for the tiny invaders. The jaguar's large, open wound invites a procession of blood feeders, burrowers, and larvae, transforming flesh into a breeding ground for decay and disease. Among the culprits are botfly larvae, notorious parasites whose life cycle depends entirely on embedding themselves beneath a host's skin. The adult female botfly lays eggs on biting mosquitoes or directly on the jaguar's fur. When the larvae hatch, they migrate to a fresh wound or penetrate soft skin, embedding themselves to grow in a pocket of inflamed tissue. This festering sac swells, throbs with pain, and oozes pus, housing hundreds of squirming larvae that feast on the host's flesh and fluids. The jaguar, unable to completely rid itself of these unwelcome tenants, suffers from systemic infection risk and debilitating weakness. Each larva's feeding mechanism secretes enzymes that liquefy tissue. In the shadowed depths of a dense jungle, where sunlight barely punches through the thick canopy, a small monkey clings desperately to life, its fur matted and stained with grime. The creature bears a gruesome wound that seems to pulse and writhe with a life of its own. Upon closer inspection, what might initially appear as an open sore is, in fact, a horrific hive of parasites, living, breeding, and feasting openly on the flesh beneath. This grotesque tableau could be mistaken for a nightmare, yet it is a raw, unfiltered peek into the harsh reality of nature's more macabre mechanisms. The parasites have sculpted this wound into their own vile metropolis, a layered ecosystem of decay and survival, where each inch of infected skin is a battlefield and banquet combined. Parasite infestation in this monkey is not merely a case of an external nuisance. It is an abyss of biological horror. Tiny maggot-like larvae burrow beneath the skin, their translucent bodies bulging with the fluids they consume. In the dense, shadowy underbrush of the jungle, where the air is thick with humidity and the sounds of life echo in a cacophony of chirps and rustles, a grim scene unfolds. A monkey, once vibrant and full of energy, now sits in a state of distress, its fur matted and stained, revealing a horrific wound that has become a grotesque canvas of nature's darker side. This is not just any injury. It is a gaping, festering sore, a testament to the relentless march of insect infestation. As we draw closer, the sight is both shocking and captivating, a reminder of the raw, unfiltered reality of life in the wild. The wound, a deep crater in the monkey's flesh, is teeming with a writhing mass of maggots, their pale bodies glistening in the dappled sunlight that filters through the leaves above. This is not merely a wound. It is a battleground, a microcosm of life and death, where the lines between predator and prey blur in the most unsettling of ways. Insects, often dismissed as mere nuisances, play a pivotal role in the ecosystem, and here they are both the harbingers of decay and the agents of renewal. The maggots, larvae of flies, are nature's cleanup crew, feasting on the dead and dying tissue, breaking it down and recycling the nutrients back into the soil. Yet, their presence in this wound is a double-edged sword. While they are performing their ecological duty, they are also a sign of neglect, a wound that has gone untreated, allowing the infestation to flourish. The monkey, in its suffering, becomes a poignant symbol of the fragility of life, a reminder that even the strongest among us can fall victim to the relentless forces of nature. As we delve deeper into the world of insect infestation, we uncover the intricate relationships that exist within this ecosystem. The flies that lay their eggs in the monkey's wound are drawn to the scent of decay, a signal that the flesh is ripe for their offspring. In the sun-drenched savanna, where life flourishes, and the circle of existence leads to the triumphant hunts of fierce predators, an unsettling sight emerges. A majestic white lion, known for its ethereal beauty and almost mythical presence, stirs within the grassland. But this afternoon, its regal mane is not the only thing drawing attention. A horrific wound festers on its flank, a grotesque display amidst the natural grandeur. As the camera zooms in, our breath quickens, and we acknowledge the dark truth hidden under the lion's shimmering coat. An insect infestation has taken hold, turning the symbol of strength into a canvas of decay and suffering. Welcome to the unsettling world of nature, where beauty and brutality coexist in a delicate balance. Here, in this sanctuary of life, a harsh reality unfolds before our eyes. The white lion, a creature often regarded with awe, lies vulnerable. An unsightly cluster of flies has invaded its flesh, a cacophony of buzzing that hints at the macabre feast happening underneath the surface. Nature, in its raw, unfiltered form, brings forth a visual horror that many would rather turn away from. But we shall not avert our gaze. We delve into the intricate details of this infestation, an uninvited host of insects that have transformed the lion's majestic body into a battleground. As we examine the open wound, you may notice the erratic movements of maggots squirming amidst blood and tissue. These larvae, the offspring of flies, are drawn to decomposition, thriving where flesh begins to rot and decay. The mere sight of these writhing forms invokes a visceral reaction, yet they play a role in the cycle of life that is undeniably fascinating. The white lion's suffering is significant, as it battles both the initial injury and the relentless onslaught of these parasitic invaders. Each maggot feasting away presents a dark reminder of nature's resolute power, yet also an exquisite illustration of its brutal ethics. But what compels these insects to choose the white lion as a host? Flies, particularly the common housefly, possess a unique ability to detect odors given off by wounds. Their olfactory sensors guide them to their next meal with uncanny precision. Once the flies lay their eggs, the larvae hatch, and the voracious appetite of these tiny creatures spells doom for the unsuspecting host. For this lion, the constant scratching and rubbing against the tall grasses does little. In the depths of the ocean, where sunlight struggles to penetrate, we encounter an unsettling reality, a world teeming with life, yet rife with suffering. Meet Luna, a dolphin whose graceful elegance has been marred by a horrific wound. The once harmonious curve of her body is now twisted by a grotesque sight, a gaping, festering hole smothered in a writhing mass of muscles. As Luna swims through the surf, her pain is palpable. The muscle infestation has laid siege to her body, transforming her vibrant existence into a living nightmare. What causes this unthinkable fate? The answer lies in the murky depths of modern ecological imbalance. The invasive species of mussels, primarily belonging to the genus Mytilus, thrive in environments altered by human activity, pollution, and nutrient runoff from agricultural runoff create a buffet for these opportunistic species. As they attach themselves ram-like to the unsuspecting dolphin's skin, they burrow deeper into the flesh, siphoning nutrients and energy away, leaving destruction in their wake. Each mussel is like a tiny vampire, insatiable and relentless, clinging with powerful adductors that crush the very essence of their host. The longer they remain, the more grotesque the scene becomes. The once glistening skin of Luna's side is now obscured by a dark mass of iridescent shells, sharp edges digging into her tender flesh. Imagine a living canvas, once vibrant and full of movement, Now dragged down by a weight that not only hinders her mobility, but threatens her very life, the infection festers beneath the surface, seeping toxins into her bloodstream as her immune system battles against an indefatigable foe. Each day brings with it a wave of agony, and her graceful flips through the water are replaced by jerky movements, reminiscent of a marionette dancing with forgotten strings.